We're here today with Mack Thompson. Mack, you were recently just announced as a new head boys basketball coach at Effingham. What was the process like for you, and what's it mean to you to be named the new head coach?
Well, the process was we had some candidates for the position, but when you don't have a lot of teaching to go with it, it kind of limits your applicant pool. And basically, at the end of the day, we felt like me taking over was probably our best option, and having the years of experience that I have coaching from varsity basketball to junior college assistant to running a youth program from kindergarten through sixth grade. We felt like I was the best one to kind of get things up and going again, and seeing where it goes from there.
How do you feel like coming in as a new coach, even though you have experience in this field, the pressure coming in is never easy to handle?
It's not, and that's the one thing though that like my oldest son Duke, he's graduating high school this year. But when he was in fifth grade, he spent 25 plus days at Riley's Children's Hospital, had numerous surgeries, and it was a pretty rough experience for him and for our family. And then you kind of realize what pressure is really like. You've got those nurses and those doctors that are there every day taking care of patients, and to me that's pressure. A boys basketball game, a boys basketball program, that's not a whole lot of pressure in my eyes. I know people want to be successful, people want to win, and I think just rolling up the sleeves and going to work is going to really help us achieve those goals. And from kindergarten through 12th grade, and just getting everybody involved and getting the community excited to be a part of it, and utilizing the community, because there's a lot of good basketball minds that are driving the streets over in Effingham County. And I'm going to try to utilize as many of those as I can to help us build something from kindergarten through 12th grade. And like I said, I don't feel the pressure. I don't think I don't want my kids to feel the pressure. I just want them to go out and enjoy the game of basketball. And yes, you're going to have those games where they're big games. Your games against your St. Anthony's and your T-Towns, and leading up to those games, you're going to feel the pressure. But that's getting you ready for life, and being able to deal with those situations later on down the road.
What stood out to you the most about this job as far as you were the best option for it?
Well, actually, I interviewed back in 2002 for the head coaching vacancy at Effingham High School when they hired Ron Reed. Coach Reed obviously was the right choice. Won a lot of games and did a great job for the community and did a great job for the basketball program. And back then, even I felt like with its location, with its size, with the facilities that they have. I've been a big fan of Andy Johnson ever since he was the AD at Teotopolis, and got to know him and work with him a little bit. And him and I have the same mindset in regards to we like to go. We like to make things happen. We don't like to sit back and wait for things to happen. We like to make things happen. And and then I got to meet some of the other administrators, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Schwarman. And we all kind of have the same mindset, and I'm looking forward to that opportunity to build on the program that's there, and kind of see what we can do with it, and see where we go.
You spent 13 years here as a varsity coach. How do you feel like the experience of being a coach at the varsity level for so long will carry you on to a bigger school like Effingham at 3A?
Well, a lot of our schedule here at Robinson that I've kind of built up has been a lot of 3A, 4A schools. Or very, very good 2A and 1A schools. We don't play a ton of 1As, but the ones we do play are usually state ranked. And we play a lot of 4As, like I said, Terre Haute North, Terre Haute South, Evansville, Harrison. We've played a bunch of them over the years, and then a lot of 3As, a lot of the Apollo schools over the St. Anthony tournament. So, to me, it's five guys. It's basketball. It's basketball. All you need is five guys. I'm hoping that we're going to have some really good numbers, coming out this season. But like I said, at the end of the day, you need five dudes that are gonna work hard, that are gonna compete, that love to win, and that do a good job of playing well together. And I'm looking forward to that opportunity to get to know the guys and seeing what we can piece together.
The freshman class, the eighth grade class coming in. What is your plan for developing these kids to buy into the success that you want to have here?
Well, the number one thing is we just got to show them, the getting into the gym, getting into the weight room, putting in those hours to develop your skills, because obviously the more skilled you are, the better you're going to be for your teammates. And I've always said a basketball team's like a puzzle. You got to have the right pieces to fit the puzzle. And sometimes you need a couple guys that can score, a couple guys that are going to defend, some guys are going to rebound. So it takes all sorts of athletes. But I hear how we've got some great athletes in the school system that are playing basketball. We have some good athletes that aren't playing basketball right now, and our job is to try to get those guys out and playing, and just understanding that yes, we are teaching the game of basketball, but I also hope that the parents and the families understand that we're trying to teach life skills in regards to dedication, commitment. I'm always big on if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. And things like that bode well for you, once the era is out of the basketball, and your playing days are over, and you take those out into the workforce. And I hope that helps encourage the families to get their kids involved and keep them involved. But we do that all the way down to the kindergarten level. I here I've ran a youth program in Robinson from kindergarten through sixth grade, and I look to continue doing something of that nature in Effingham.
What is the number one thing that excites you the most as a coach?
The strategy behind it has always been great. I've always loved the strategy. I've always loved trying to play a game of chess on the basketball court. But the bottom line is at the end of the day, it's the relationships that you build with your coaching staff, your coaching colleagues, the players' families. I've had some really great relationships built here in Robinson with our players and families, and my coaching staff. My coaching staff's been together a long time, and there's just that's what I enjoy. I enjoy that aspect of the game of basketball, to be able to have those relationships, and and to try to mold those young men into productive citizens within our community. And I'm excited for that opportunity to do it at a bigger school and within the Effingham community.
You're coming in as a new athletic director and head coach, which is very hard to do, replacing Dave Woltman's shoes. How do you feel like that will help you out too, as far as trying to do both at the same time?
Well, being an athletic director, you spend a lot more time helping your other coaches. You're now in the business of working more with adults and trying to help them be successful. And what can I do from my experiences? And I've coached football, I've coached basketball, I've coached baseball, I've coached softball. I actually was assistant golf coach for a year, and so I've been around the numerous sports, and I feel like I can help them be successful, and the key is to to listen to your coaches and find out what they want to do to be successful, and try to provide them those resources to be successful. And so I don't they got good programs. The football team's good, softball team's good, volleyball team. I mean, you name it. It seems like they're always really competitive, and we just want to continue to build on that. And Coach or Dave Woltman's been there for I don't know, several years. He was there when I interviewed back in '02, so he's been there a long time and put a lot of hours into the school district. And I'm just wanting to build off of what he's done. And you never fill the person's shoes before you, but you continue to walk in the same path they're walking, and just try to add your touch of of sunshine to it, and see if we can improve on what Dave's done.
What creates the biggest advantage but also disadvantage for an AD and a head coach?
Well, obviously, time. Your time commitment to supervision and whatnot. But to be honest with you, with being full-time athletic director and not having the teaching responsibilities, having Gail Warner as the athletic secretary, there's a lot of avenues to the things that make the job difficult. When I was the athletic director at Athens High School back in 05, 06, I didn't have an athletic secretary. I was coaching out at a junior college 30 minutes away, having to recruit and do games and then come back for supervision on another 30-minute drive. That was the tough stuff, and having a newborn at home. Now that my kids are grown a little bit, and I don't really see a whole lot of disadvantages. I think the advantages will outweigh it. Like I said, my experience as a coach at many levels, and will help me. I'm hoping to put together a really good staff over there, basketball wise. And anytime you have a good basketball staff that you can trust and rely on, like I had here at Robinson, I felt like if I had to go do something else, that they could run practice for me, or whatever I needed. They were always willing to bend over backwards to help out. And I think that's a good thing over there. We got Vince Rohr as the junior high AD now, and Vince has told me that since I've taken on the basketball duties, that he'll do whatever he can to make the transition easy and to help out, help me out to do both jobs to the best of my ability.
So when you were officially named the head coach, was it more of a mentality of, I can do this, but now I got to prove myself to a bigger level? Or was it, all right, I can do this, I control what I can control?
I've always been a big, control what you can control type of guy. And that's the one thing I preach to my kids. But, the excitement of, I've always said, and a lot of school districts don't believe that you can be athletic director and a varsity level coach. And I think with my work ethic, with my organization, I think with my commitment level, I think I'm going to showcase that you can do both, and that you can do both very successfully, and that if you do things the right way in regards to put in the time, and like I said, getting other people involved, and everybody just keeps talking about how supportive the community is and how much they want to see the basketball program flourish. And I've already had a lot of people reach out to me about, hey, anything I can do to help, or we can do to help, please let us know. We'd love to see it get back to where it once was. And that's what you need. You need to be willing to utilize people and use their strengths to better your situation. And I think we've got a lot of good people over there, just from the conversations I've had up to this point, that really want to see us go. And when I first found out that I was going to be able to, given that blessing to do both AD and head basketball, I was very, very excited about that.
What sticks out to you the most about the respect that you get coming from a different school, and of all applicants that there were, they wanted you to be that next person?
Well, that's just one of those things that I feel like over the years I've done things the right way. I mean, have I made my mistakes? Of course I made my mistakes. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes, and you become better. And for them to give me that opportunity, and to obviously we've played in the St. Anthony tournament for years. We actually played in the St. Anthony Christmas tournament when it was still going on, and then we flipped over to their Thanksgiving tournament. So we've been going to Effingham for a long time, ever since I've been, all 13 years that I've been, the varsity coach here. And I think that, hopefully they were, in the gym watching our teams play, and understood just how hard our teams compete. We're never that easy win. We're gonna dogfight people all the way from the opening tip to the the final buzzer. And hopefully at the end of the day, our guys can walk off the floor, and people have respect for how they played, how they carried themselves, and that, like I said, I think that's what I'm most proud of, is that they feel like I give them a very good opportunity to get back to that level of success that they've once enjoyed.
It's one thing to be a coach; it's another thing to do both. But when you were young and kind of getting up into the coaching ranks, was this something that you hadn't envisioned in your mind of doing both at one school?
Yeah, I got my administrative degree in 2011 from Eastern Illinois University, and my goal was to one day to do both, and to have that opportunity to do both, and not only help my basketball program, but to help the other programs, and that's the goal. The goal as an athletic director is to provide that opportunity for those other programs to be successful. I feel like I've done a good job of taking our boys basketball program to the next level here, and I want to be able to do that with all programs, and give them the little bit of knowledge that I do have, and see if we can bring that Apollo Conference Award, all sport award, to the halls of Effingham High School for years to come. And everybody kind of right now is looking at Mount Zion as the team to beat in the Apollo, and or the school to beat in the Apollo with all their sports, and we want to make sure that we're right in that conversation down the road. You gotta form those relationships with those coaches. I know a couple of them. I don't know a lot of them at this point, other than recognizing them when I see them. But getting that relationship built, and letting them know that they know their programs better than I know their programs, and this first year is going to be one of those learning years in regards to letting me kind of let them know, number one, that I'm there to support them. What do they need? What do they feel like is in the best interest of their program? And as we're going through that process, then as I kind of go through the season with them, then I can throw in my ideas on maybe what I think might help them be more successful, or heck, I may take some ideas from them into my program as a basketball coach. And that's what it is. It's just all about learning, of how they do things, and what can I help provide them to make that job easier. Because coaching is not easy. I mean, anytime you're dealing with 15 to 18-year-olds and multiple families, and you're trying to be successful, but you're also trying to do what's in the best interest of the student athletes, and obviously you got a big community that you're trying to help enjoy your sports, because at the end of the day, from a community perspective, it's a form of entertainment. For the athletes, it's a form of competition, and we got to be able to with our coaches, help them balance that out, and try to make make their jobs as easy as possible, which, like I said, it's never an easy job.
Who's been your number one supporter through this whole process?
Well, definitely my wife has been, because we've had opportunities at different times to take other positions that were at bigger schools or whatever, and she's never really been on board with any of those, and she's the one that can kind of sit back and see the bigger picture sometimes, and I kind of get excited about the different opportunities here or there, and with Duke, kind of being in the early high school stages and whatnot, that was going to be hard to do. Timing wise, with my two youngest being currently in 6th and 7th grade, so next year they'll be in 7th and 8th grade. It was pretty much, the timing was about the best that it was going to be. I didn't really want to move them once they got to high school. It's going to be tough enough for those two the way it is. They'll be all right. They'll be able to make friends. They enjoy their sports. They'll be active in their sports. They're both good students. So, there, and to be honest, it was tough on them when we first told them back in November about moving for the athletic director's position. But I think since I've let them know that, I'm going to be the varsity coach, I think that even helped ease their minds a little bit more, just because they've been so used to Dad coaching them since they can remember. And, I think they're excited about that, moving forward. And, and obviously when I interviewed for the position as AD, the one thing I told them is that, my family comes first. I don't want to do a job where I can't spend time with my boys and my family and go enjoy the things that they enjoy doing, and watching them do the things that they enjoy. And Mr. Johnson was very adamant that he's the same way in regards to family coming first, and wanting to make sure that I have that opportunity to spend time watching my boys and whatnot. And so my family's been extremely supportive. Scott Rawlings and Tyler Russell are two of my best friends over here. They've been supportive. I know they hate to see us go. We hate to go, but they also understand that this is something that I've wanted. And they're, my understanding is they're pretty happy that I'm getting that opportunity to show that I can do both, being athletic director and head basketball coach. And from the Effingham side of it, to be honest with you, Charlie Schwerman's been awesome. Charlie's been, he's been one of those that's, been talking to me from day one, helped me out with some the AD stuff. And, as we got going through the basketball process, he's a good basketball mind. He played on a very good St. Anthony team back in the late 90s, and then, coached with Coach Reed for, 5 years or so. And he gets it. Him and I think a lot alike, and I don't know if that's something that he wants me to say out loud, because I'm pretty I'm pretty driven in what I like to do. And but I've been very blessed that to have Charlie to kind of bounce a lot of things off of. He's been that good equalizer for me, making that move over, and been very helpful with that. And Mr. Roberts has been great, and Mr. Johnson's been great as well. But I've done most of my communications with Charlie and even Vince. Here in the last several months, got to know Vince quite a bit, and all those guys have been great. And I'm excited to work with them. Well, officially by contract, I start July 1st. I've already been doing several duties from afar. Between the basketball interviews and attending sports backer meetings and different things like that. So I've already kind of started on that, but we finish up here next Wednesday on the 22nd. I will actually be heading out of town for our son's graduation. We're taking him out of town for about 5 or 6 days, and probably about the 28th of May. Once we get back, I'm going to start making the drive over for a couple weeks throughout the week, just to start getting acclimated to things, and getting to meet with Mr. Woltman and go through some things and get that aspect of it. When we transition from Mr. Woltman to myself, and kind of start that process there at the end of May into June. Whenever he's available to meet with me and go over that stuff. Basketball wise, I've got a meeting scheduled for this coming Tuesday, May 21st, at 6:30 p.m. in the high school gym there at Effingham. And they're in the main gym. We're gonna have a player-parent meeting. I sent out a Google form the other day for people to sign up, and we've got pretty good numbers, from that, and hopefully we'll even get some more as the word spreads. And we have our meeting next Tuesday and kind of line out what we want to do in regards to weightlifting 3 days a week, and getting some basketball skill development stuff in 3 days a week, and start implementing kind of what we're wanting to do, and so we don't come in early November and have to start from square one. But a lot of it's going to be skill development. A lot of ball handling and shooting, and just learning the movements that I like on the offensive end, and what we're trying to teach. Game wise, I'm not overly concerned about how many games are we going to play. I know there's a lot of teams that play 20 to 25 games in the month of June, but to me, we play 30 games over 4.5 months in the wintertime, and I've never been a huge fan of just playing a ton of games just for the sake of playing a ton of games. We can actually get a lot more accomplished in our own gym, playing 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. I'm a big advantage disadvantage guy, so I like to play a lot of 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, because that's the game of basketball. You learn it in advantage disadvantages, and the teams that can be successful in those situations are the ones that typically win more ball games than not. And so we'll spend a lot of time working on those situations, and figuring out, we're going to play man-to-man defense. We're going to run a motion style offense with some, tweaks here and there, and, have a handful of set plays that we like to utilize and run, and use for, quick hitting plays. And, we'll see what we have. We'll see what we have piece-wise, and what kind of puzzle we can put together. Obviously it's all going to depend on, what kind of pieces we have. If we, on what kind of official style of play that we do. But like I said, I'm not a big zone guy. I may be the worst zone coach in the entire nation, because I've just never been good at it. I've tried to study it. I've tried to learn it. I feel like my zone offensive stuff is pretty solid, but we're going to play man-to-man defense, and we're going to share the basketball. We're going to the guys that can score are going to be the guys that are going to shoot the basketball. The guys that can't are going to be the ones that, set some really good screens and rebound and defend, and fill their roles that way. And, we need all those guys. We need your baseball guys. We need your football guys. We need your golf guys. We need your tennis guys. We need your athletes. And we want guys that love to compete, love to win. We're going to work around, those multi-sport athletes, and I'm a big proponent. My two younger ones, and even my one graduating, we try to get them to play as many sports as possible, and because that's what's fun. It was when you get your athletes out there just competing, and like my oldest never played tennis until his sophomore year, and he never probably even swung a racket until he decided that he wanted to play tennis. And I've enjoyed watching him compete over the last 3 years doing that, and that's what I want. I want that out of our Effingham kids, is to get those strong athletic football guys onto the basketball court, get those baseball guys onto the basketball court. Well, I want the community to understand that I want them to be involved. I want them to be a big part of what we're doing. And I know there's always businesses out there that are wanting to help. They're wanting to put their logos on our basketball camp T-shirts. They're wanting to put their name out there. And what better way to do that than having 250 walking billboards through town with an Effingham basketball shirt on with their company logo, or just people driving by our schools and seeing their sponsorship supporting our student athletes. And I encourage them to reach out to me, because me being new to the community, I want them to understand that I'm welcoming them to be a part of Effingham athletics. And how can we not only help our programs, but how can we help their businesses? How can we help promote their business and what they have to offer? And I want them to have that freedom to reach out to me, and build that connection and build that relationship, so we can see what we can do best for our student athletes, and see what their businesses can do to help us get to that next level, and be a part of a winning culture. And I like I said, I just want to send that invitation out to reach out to me, whenever available. And I'd love to talk to you, sit down, and see what we can do.
Mack, thank you for taking the time with me. It was enjoyable to kind of hear kind of the behind the scenes of what has went on with this, but also good luck to you as a new head coach and AD. I know it's not easy to do, but I think you're going to relinquish in this the best way possible.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Tyler. You making the trip over to my house here in Robinson and visiting and taking time out of your day to do so. And I enjoy your podcast and or your broadcast that you put together, and they're always enjoyable to watch. And thank the sponsors that help make this possible for you and for the communities and the different programs that you do. Go out and promote. And I appreciate the opportunity for you to come over here and let me promote not only the boys basketball program at Effingham High School, but just all of our athletic programs at Unit 40. And we're excited to get to hit the ground running, and looking forward to a great 2024 and beyond.